I came home pretty late one night, and my roommate's bedroom was shut, and I assumed she was sleeping already, but I saw something out of the corner of my eye in the kitchen. I said her name, but she didn't answer. I didn't think anything of it, so I walked into my room, and before I turned the light on, something whispered, "I'm still here." I turned on the light in my room, but nothing was there. So I turned on every light in my house and knocked on my roommate's door and eventually opened it. But she wasn't there, so I left her light on too and slept with all the lights on. When she came back the next morning, I asked her if she was messing with me, and she started crying and said she left because something was in the house messing with her too. As usual, I wake up in the morning and go to work at 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., where I get back home and play at my Xbox for a bit. Although there was this creepy encounter with my roommate leaving and telling me those things she believes in. I don't believe in ghosts, so I let it all go. To prove to my roommate that she was just hallucinating, I took her shopping at Walmart. I love shopping at Walmart. As we were looking through the clothes area, I saw a shirt fall off. Kinda odd, but since I'm nice and not like some careless people nowadays, I pick it up. But the shirt had an oddly familiar message. "I'm still here," written simply. Then I felt very weird and just put it back. My roommate found a cool shirt for me, and I found a nice pair of sandals for her. Together, the shirt and the sandals were $47. We went to the cash register, and finally it was our turn. The cashier was weirdly smiling at us. I just thought it was one of these rare polite cashiers, but it really made me uncomfortable of how the cashier scanned the products while smiling and looking at us. Until my roommate whispered in my ear, I think she was crying, "Look at the tattoo on her neck," she said. It scared the heck out of me. The tattoo was a simple text written, "I'm still here." I quickly uninserted my credit card, took my roommate by the hand, and ran to the car. Luckily, that was it. My new shirt was cool, and my roommate loves her sandals. What should I do? Move out of town completely? Or stay there and give you more stories? I might die. This is either the bravest thing I'll do or the stupidest. Right now, as I'm writing this, something fell from the kitchen. And again, I think I saw something in the corner of my eye. I decided I should sleep here one more night to maybe get to the mysteries of this "I see you" ghost, or whatever it is. Anyways, everyone, take care. Okay, so the other day my wife says to me, "Your son said something that creeped me out a little." Now, my wife isn't one to get scared or creeped out over just anything, so she definitely had my attention. Also note that since he said something strange, he's automatically my son. Laugh out loud. Anyway, a little backstory on my cub. Since he could walk at 1, he's 6 now. He was always extremely aware of things and actually would listen when you told him to not touch things because he could get hurt or burned or whatever it was. And he would just never even look to get into things where most kids my daughter would rather just get into. Whatever it is, a million times. He speaks like he's well beyond his years, and sometimes I get shocked at how advanced he is. Oftentimes my wife and I have said he has such an old soul. Even his mannerisms. Out of the blue, he's just having a conversation with my wife and says, "Mommy, I remember when I was inside your belly." She's not really thinking anything of it. It is just entertaining what he's saying and asks what he remembers. He says, "I remember how dark it was and remember hearing Daddy's voice. But I remember before that." And my wife says, "What do you mean?" He says, "I remember when I was an old man with my wife. We were really, really old. She was beautiful, Mom. She had gray hair and had these black things on both of her arms. I love her and really miss her. He's telling her this, and he is dead serious. So my wife changes the subject and tells me, your son just creeped me out. Anyone else have this happen with their kids? Or have you personally felt this way? Let's flash back to 2012. I was 12 years old and not a believer in any of this stuff. My parents and I were staying in my aunt's house in Hoboken, New Jersey. It was a 3-story house that was extremely old. So old it had a staircase that was just used for the servants back in the day. Anyway, we're staying on the 3rd floor, which always gave me weird vibes. But this summer night it got crazy. My parents took the only bedroom upstairs, so I took the small living room that had a leather couch and small TV. I felt really creeped out that night, so I kept the TV on. I heard some footsteps in the kitchen next to where I was sleeping, so I got up to see if it was one of my parents, and I saw nothing when I flipped the light on. So I lay back down and heard the footsteps again, but this time closer. I got up again, flipped the light, and once again nothing. But this time, it felt like someone was looking at me. But once again, wasn't a believer, so I just went back to the couch and flipped the light off. The TV was still on, which casted some light. I finally got tired and let out a yawn and cleared my throat. Right after that happened, a voice in the doorway went, "Shh." And then the TV went to white static. The TV went to white static screen at full volume. I froze. I felt someone was looking at me in the doorway, but I didn't have the guts to look. I felt it was staring at me all night, and I remained frozen just staring at the static TV. Once the sun started to come up, the presence lifted, and the TV went back to normal. And that had to be one of the scariest experiences in my entire life. Safe to say, I've been a believer ever since.